Question 4. How did you use media technologies in the construction, research, planning and evaluation stages? Before I could produce my short film, I had to watch existing examples of shorts to help me understand the forms and conventions of short films. For this stage, I used YouTube as my primary source of initial research, such as the Virgin Media Shorts YouTube channel, which hosts a variety of different short films. I analysed 4 different short films, varying in quality from student shorts such as The Desk to industry standard shorts such as Paperman. Like last year, I used WordPress.com to help me keep track of all my progress, up from the research stage to the evaluation stage, helping to convey how it went from an idea to a short film and magazine review and poster. One of the first things that was required to do after the initial planning and research stage was to produce a script for my short film. So like last year, I used the program ScriptBuddy to easily create a professional looking script. I also had to create an animatic by initially drawing at the storyboard, taking pictures of each individual drawing, importing them into iMovie, and creating the animatic by placing the images in a chronological order. To help me find the appropriate fonts for the title of my short film, I used the website dafont.com. With Dafont, I located a font called Times New Arial, which I found really fitting for my short as it is a mix of 2 different fonts, Times New Roman and Arial, helping to convey the somewhat mixed genre of my short. It appears smooth and easy to read. It's not too much for the eye to process, but it's different enough to stand out. Final Cut Express was the primary software I used for editing the clips and sounds together. It's been a while since I used it before, so it did take a little bit of getting used to again. Aside from simple image placement, it allowed me to speed up clips and audio, which was of vital importance for the storyline of my short film. The internet was used for websites such as YouTube, but it also allowed me to locate sound effects on various websites that provided free sound effects. The sound effects were quite useful and allowed me to emphasise certain aspects of my short film, such as when Tim was dropping the watch down the drain. Recording was done with a Canon CES Vixia camcorder. Unfortunately, it wasn't recorded in HD, but the quality it did record in was reasonable. I also used a tripod for stabilisation and shots with little camera movement or movement that required panning. I used a program called LiveType to help create the effects of my title as it appeared seeping into the shot. The most fun part for me was using Photoshop, which I used to create my poster and magazine review. Being quite technically adept with Photoshop, it wasn't terribly difficult to get the effect I wanted, just rather time consuming. I used the image I found most fitting for my film poster and began simply putting text roughly where I wanted it to go. I didn't take too much consideration of the actual font, except for the title of course, to begin with. I simply wanted a rough skeleton of what I was trying to accomplish. After a bit of experimenting, this was the layout I decided to work with. Once that was established, I began going into more detail, making some edits here and there. The first thing I did was make the background darker but not completely black. This is to bring my lead image forward more to help it stand out. I also increased the brightness and contrast to provide Tim with even more bright and vibrant colours. I included a glow around the watch, which was a simple case of using the brush tool. The fonts were also changed to better suit the poster. I later made use of the black empty spaces on the sides of the poster to add the quotes from the magazine reviews. I added a social media outlet next to the coming soon being a website and a hashtag. The magazine review layout was based on a review from MIM magazine. Creating the layout for the review was challenging but perfectly possible. It was mostly time consuming above all else. The select box and fill tool were used to get the film strip at the top and bottom of the review. The images were taken from my short film via screenshots and simply pasted into Photoshop, and adjusted the size from there. I used Word to assist in the writing of the review to make sure spelling and grammar were correct before pasting it into Photoshop.